2.
We ready right now.
Leave that.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable
Say it, I didn't
broadcasting.
hear it.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello. Welcome back, everyone, to Blame Your Brother tonight. Special night, Wednesday night instead of Thursday. We are streaming the show live on YouTube. That is right. You can go to youtube.com/blameyourbrother, or you can even go to blameyourbrother.tv if that is your thing. Come hang out with us. Tonight is going to be a good one. We are our Mount Rushmore of MLB logos. That's right. Major League Baseball logos, our favorites. We will list why. Lots of news stories to get to. So let's introduce ourselves. I am one half of this show. I am David, a.k.a. D-Brew, voice of people, Mr. 40%, Glenn Jackson, the spiritual midget. And I sit next to this gentleman. Over to my left, it is John.
Hey, everybody, John here, a.k.a. Mr. Groupon, Mr. PTI, the Madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman.
They do a madman.
Okay, he's a madman.
All right. So that's us. Blame Your Brother. We're going to be talking to you for the next hour or so. So hopefully you will enjoy it. And let's just get things going. John, anything new to report back in your life this week?
I had my braces tightened for the first time.
Yeah, that's fine.
So far, and now I've got bands. So, yeah, that's just not fun.
It's not fun. I mean, but no pain, no gain, as they say in the military. They used to tell me when I worked many years ago at the police department. I worked as an intern and somehow got saddled into the training academy class. And I remember their shirts said class session 34, whatever it was. No pain, no gain. Mm. So I've always thought about that my entire life. And it is true. It's emotionally, physically, even mentally. If you're not going through some type of pain or pushback, a lot of time you're not really growing as a person or, whatever. So it shall pass. I mean, my braces I would get them tightened on Tuesday, and then by Saturday I would be kind of back to normal. But man, the first time I was like, oh, this is bad. I was like, how long is this going to last? But
I mean, the process felt like it's like if somebody put you in an arm bar and it feels like they can break your arm really easily. Yeah. Just with your teeth. Right.
Yeah, well, you'll get through it, man. Like I said, it's a slow process. How was your Father's Day? That was this past weekend.
Pretty good.
Anything exciting? Anything?
Robbie made me some dinner. She got me some new headphones. She got me like a game pack with a bunch of different games built into one.
All right.
And so yeah, it's pretty good day. Nice.
Well, we went out on Saturday, went to the lake, get out on Tim Ford's Lake, and had just a wonderful time. I mean, the lake is great because it's just relaxing. You're out there just in open water. You're just, riding around, swimming. Just there's a tranquility to it that I love. I love the tranquility, the peacefulness, and just, it was a little bit overcast, but it wasn't too bad. You like maybe, about 5 degrees warmer, but I had a blast. So we went out there. It was me, my family, and then Casey's mom and dad went with us. And then on Sunday, the actual day, I got some breakfast, got some coffee, got a new vinyl record, and got some GoPro accessories that I wanted. So, it was a good day. I just, like I say, it's nice to have a day carved out for us, There's not a whole lot of them, but that's one of them. So, yeah, no, it was good, though. I noticed something on social media that I posted a picture of us with our families, and like the likes were like like more than they've ever been before. And I was like, now is that because I don't know. I've thought about it. Is it because so we post a lot of stuff on social media that's like graphics and stuff, and we're not in the pictures a lot of the time, but we are in the pictures from time to time, and the likes stay about the same. But this one, I was like, maybe it's the children. Maybe the children's are getting the like. So I noticed Haley Wilgus liked I posted on Facebook. It was just a picture of your family, my family. It said, Happy Father's Day, blah, blah, blah. Haley Wilgus liked it, and I noticed we're getting all of these likes on Facebook. I was like, and none of it tells you, like, do you know these people? I'm like, I don't know any of these people. That's the power of a strong like social media user like Haley Wilgus, who is News 2 anchor, who's been on the program. She liked it, so it started just popping up on her feed, and then people were just liking it. So I've always said, I mean, you want to figure out social media, find someone with a strong presence and get them to like your stuff, and that's pretty much it, for anyways. But good day. I do, and so I heard you had your this is from the chat. You celebrated your son's birthday this past Saturday.
Yeah.
How was that? Big event? Good. I mean, big family event? I mean...
family. There's just a few people, just a couple of different other families that weren't part of our family that came. There's just happened to be a lot of stuff going on that weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, it being Father's Day weekend as well.
Yeah, that was kind of a thing. But
yeah, we had fun. We had this cricket set that we've not used at all, and so we busted that out, and we had the cornhole like we normally do set up, and we did another pinata like we've done for the past couple of years, and it's always come out pretty good. So
there you go.
Yeah,
I do want to touch on a few things. There is if you've ever watched the feed in the past, you notice I wear a black hat with a Barstool on it. And that is for Barstool Sports, which is, a lot of people don't know, but it's a very, very famous, I don't know how to describe it. It's a company that encompasses sports, podcasting, social, pop culture, all this. Anyways, one of the big events they have is their founder, Dave Portnoy, goes to different pizza places in the area.
This is so funny. Last night, I was talking about Joey's to a guest there, and he brought up Barstool.
Okay. Well, I'm about to...
For this exact reason.
Well, I'm about to go off here. So, because I need to even pull up the other place. So, he went to 3 pizza places in the Nashville area. And so, what he does, he goes and he tries out the pizza and he ranks them 1 to 10, right? So, I mean, I figure I'll just continue the story and we'll get there. So, he went to 5 Points in Nashville and gave it and I'm just kind of guessing on this, but I'm pretty sure these numbers are about right. I believe he gave them a 7.7, I believe, 5 Points. Good pizza place. It's cool. Good stuff. All right. Then he went to Joey's next. And if you've not watched the video, you got to go watch this video. It is so funny because it's one of the most, man, my ear is like really itching tonight. It's one of the most involved ones he's ever done. So So to set the video up, normally it's him with a pizza box outside of the restaurant. You rarely see him go inside the restaurant. You rarely see any of the pizza owners. You don't see them making the pizza. That's rare. Like, it happens once in a while. He comes out with Joey's and he's like, this place is crazy. And it shows footage of him inside. And it shows Stephanie, who works there, just slinging the pies. He goes, no wonder this place is only open 5 days a week. If they were open 7 days a week, she'd be dead, And I guess they were giving him the business. I don't know. So anyways, he tried the pizza. He gave it a 7. I believe he gave it a 7.7. And I was like, what? 7.7?
Yeah.
That's ludicrous. You're telling me you're judging Joey's House of Pizza to 5 points. The same? No, I'm sorry. That's absurd. So in the video, he goes back in and they're like, no, we want another score. You're going to have to redo it. Stephanie's like giving him the business. It's fantastic. Go watch the video. He tries it again. He said, just due to peer pressure, because I don't want to get hit in the head with a crowbar, I'm giving it a 7.8. Okay. I mean, what? It's a respectable score. I mean, obviously we love Joey's and, we wanted to have a high score. Well, he went to this other place today. Desano's, okay? And he gave it a 7.6. I'm like, okay, I've never heard of this place. I'm going to go try it out. So I went today to go try it out. Let me tell you something. That pizza isn't even in the same sport as Joey's House of Pizza. It shouldn't be getting anything close to the score, okay? It's not bad. I don't want to run this place down, but it wasn't great. Joey's House should get a 9 at least, if you ask me.
To me, Joey's House of Pizza is like comparing them to anybody else. Is like comparing Brooks Brothers to Target.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Target, but if the prices were the same,
right,
I'd live at Brooks Brothers. I mean, let's be honest.
I don't know anything about Brooks Brothers. I will say
they're high-end clothes.
I will say Lexus versus a Honda. Now look, I'm driving a Honda, but I'm like you. If I had the choice between a Lexus and a Honda, and then the same price, I'm getting the Lexus every time, man.
Yeah.
Joey's is the Lexus. So I tweeted out, I put out something on Instagram, and Joey's like wrote back and like, we appreciate that. We know you love us, guys. So they were even reaching out to us because I was like, this is trash. This is not true. This Joey's is the best. I was just kind of let down by that, man. Because I love Dave Portnoy. I love Barstool. I love the One Bite. That's what the segment's called when he does it. I don't know what's going on with that. I was a little bit let down by that. So
The reason I knew is because the guy mentioned that place.
well, I think they did this weeks ago. I say they did weeks ago because I saw him there weeks ago on social media. And our friend Emily, who is the wife of Ender, who was a guest on the show, told me she was filming some stuff with them a few weeks ago as well. So I think they were here a couple weeks ago, and I think they kind of put it together like that. So anyways, that being said, we love Joey's House Pizza. If you're in Nashville, please go check them out and let us know what you rank them 1 to 10. I give them a 9.7. And I'm being honest. It's the best pizza I've ever had. And I've been to New York. I'm going to Chicago in a couple weeks. I'm going to try this deep dish. Everybody's saying it's going to be better than you think. My wife keeps going, you've never had deep dish pizza. And I'm like, I think I have, but I'm going to give it the college try. I'm going to give it a shot.
It's good, but
Okay.
it's not pizza.
Okay. That's what I say. But I'm willing. Hey, I'm willing to try new things. I love food. I love trying new things. So I'm going to go. And when I come back in a couple weeks, I will let you know what I think about it. So, and then one more thing. Nicole Dambro, who
From Groupers Hall of Fame.
Groupers the movie. I just want to get this out there. People are always looking for, I need a podcast to listen to. Give me a podcast to listen to. She has started a new podcast. It's called Girls with Guts. It's her and another girl she had met. And she had an intestine issue, like a severe one. That could have killed her. Well, she ran into this other girl at a wedding, and the other girl had like a similar thing. So like, we should make a podcast about this. So they're basically talking about their experiences with issues of the stomach and issues with things like that. They're bringing guests on. So if you're looking for something to listen to and you kind of run out of podcasts, give it a shot. I mean, she's very entertaining. They're both well-spoken. It may not be for everyone, but Girls with Guts, if you're looking for more podcasts, go check it out. She's a friend of the show, so I wanted to get that out there. So from the chat, Jeffrey said, Joey's is very good, 9.5 out of 10, not bad. And Lynn said, like any other hot chicken except Prince's, they aren't bad, but they're not Nashville's hot chicken. And I would say, yeah, that's true. I mean, people come here for hot chicken, and they're not going to Prince's. Now, have you heard of this 5th and Broad? Have you heard of this place downtown? They have the corner of 5th and Broad right across from the ramen. It is a massive, massive food court. Is the best way. I'm saying food court. You're thinking, it's like an upscale. It's got Prince's, DeSano's, Coco's. There's so many places. Velvet Taco, Pharmacy.
Oh, wow.
I mean, dude, I couldn't even list all these places if I wanted to. This place is the bomb. It's close enough where I can walk on a work break, lunch. Dude, if you haven't been to this place, it will blow your socks off. It is phenomenal.
5th and Broad. I got to remember that.
It's called 5th and Broad. It's on 5th and Broad, right across from the ramen. It's got, if you want any kind of food, they got your hookup. They've got all the food there. And like I said, they got a Princess. So, dude, go check it out. It's phenomenal. So, all right. Well, that's the week. So we have some news stories to touch on. So let's just go ahead. Let's get with the first one. We had a past guest come on, Kristen Linton, who talked to us about the Free Britney movement. All right. So Britney Spears is in this conservatorship with her father, who basically has control of all of her money. It's a very weird situation. No one really understands it. There's a documentary out about it that you can watch on Hulu. But Kristen Linton came on, explained it all to us. It was phenomenal. We probably need to get her back on because I'm going to read you the update on this story that just happened today. Britney Spears, the headline says, "I just want my life back." After requesting to address the judge directly, Britney Spears gave an impassioned speech about her treatment under the conservatorship that controls her life and finances. She told a Los Angeles courtroom and the world that she desperately wants to end it. It has overseen her life for the last 13 years, calling it an abusive and controlling system in which she was drugged and forced to work against her will during a bombshell 23-minute speech on Wednesday. She also said, I just off memory, I've read it, She wants to have kids. She has a what do they call those birth control things that they UID or God dang, I can't remember what it's called. But basically, she's on birth control, and they won't let her have kids as well under this. So she's basically said she does not want to be in this anymore. She doesn't want her dad. She said she's asked since 2014 to get out of it, but she was never allowed to address the judge directly. All this is going through her lawyers and things like that. And I guess they haven't made a decision yet. But this is insanity, man. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I've tried to look at this from a neutral perspective. I've tried to say, all right, I must be missing something here. She must have some kind of mental health issues. If this woman is able to go before a judge and actively say, I do not want to be part of this anymore, what world are we living in? This is like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in hell, man. What is going on here? I don't know.
You got me. I mean, the thing is, she earned that money.
Yes.
It's her money.
Yes.
Even if she, I mean, unless she's doing something like downright evil with it, even if she's frivolous with it, it's her money.
That's what dude, it doesn't matter what she's doing. People in life do drugs with kids in the house. They still control their finances.
Yeah.
This is insane, man.
I agree.
Her dad is a piece of crap. Is putting it politely. What world are we living in? I've heard about this happening to people, but you always want to act. Like, this can't be real. These stories cannot be real. You cannot be taken against your will at some point, and it usually happens to older people. It's rare it happens to young people.
I mean, there was rumors that it was even happening to Stan Lee.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would go to Comic Cons and people would tell me, like, this dude does not want to be here, man. He does not want to be here. He's being forced to sign all these things. My God, man. One advantage of not having any money.
Ain't nobody after us.
And everybody coming for me, but I think I don't know. It's just weird. So I just wanted to give an update on that because we had talked about it in the past, and I'm probably going to reach out to Kristen and see if she, once the decision's made, if she wants to kind of give us her thoughts on it. But this is insanity. Okay, what I think is, has she made the best decisions in her love life? No. So I try to look at it from the other side. Okay, so
that's what I hear. The father's justification is that the men that are coming to her life are in her life just for the money,
vultures,
and for the lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah,
the leeches. Yeah. And I can kind of see. I mean,
I see his point, but
it's her money.
It's her money.
Yeah. This is bizarre, man. This is bizarre stuff. So anyway, keep that. That just broke today just a few hours before we started recording. So I would definitely want to touch it because, dude, Britney Spears is a pop icon.
Yeah.
She, to anyone our age in our 40s or 30s, this woman dominated pop culture.
Yeah.
In the 2000s, forget about it. She was everywhere.
Yeah.
And now she's like a punchline and she can't even get out of this trap. She's in a prison.
And the thing is she's still noteworthy enough where she could clear probably 7 figures just by making appearances.
Oh, 100%.
And the thing is why bother?
Well, she's saying she's being drugged and forced to work by her dad.
No, I'm just saying if she would even probably be out there even more.
Yeah, it's
probably. She's capable of putting out more albums.
We'll see. I don't know, man. If you're like prisoner for that many
but
years.
No, I'm saying that.
Yeah.
If she had the will to do it,
yeah,
she could be doing a whole lot more.
Right. Yeah.
But why bother if you're not going to put your nose to the grindstone when you're getting pennies for doing it.
I don't know. It's some weird stuff, man. It's like something out of a crazy movie. Like you're watching a movie, you're like, all right, man, let's get back to some realistic story. No, this is real. This is a real story. It's not. It's like when Donald Trump became president, we're all going, is this real right now? Yeah. What's going on? I feel the same way about this. Okay, next story, big story, NFL. Raiders Carl, I believe it's Nassib, I believe is correct, announces he is gay. He is the first active NFL player to identify as gay. Of course, everyone remembers, what was it? Everybody remembers, but there was a Sam, I can't remember his name, but there was a guy that announced he was gay before the NFL draft. And I think he got signed, but he got cut from the team. And so that was as close as come. Now, other NFL players have come out after they were out of the league. This is how far we've come in society. 20 years ago, there was a 0% chance if you were gay, you would tell any teammate about it. Now, really wrap your head around that.
Yeah.
These are 50-plus dudes on a team who are like family during a season. I mean, they see these guys probably more than their family.
Yeah.
And no one felt comfortable enough to even come out during this time. Even in the early aughts when we were all like, all right, man, being gay, it's all right now. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like in the 80s, it's not a death sentence. No, it's still in the NFL was like, no, I can't do it. So anyways, he came out on Instagram Live the other day and was just very kind of chill about it. He's like, all right, everybody, hey, I'm gay. Cool. And which is kind of cool because that way you're like, all right, this dude's not really doing this for, any absurd reason. I mean, it's great that he feels like he can. The cool thing about it, he's going to donate $100,000 to the Trevor Project, a nonprofit organization dedicated to suicide prevention efforts for LGBTQ youth. So yeah, he's the first active NFL player, and the good thing about it is that no one, I don't want to say no one, but the majority of people online, this is a rare thing, online, in the league, in the news, we're all positive about it. Most time, Twitter. If you get on Twitter long enough, you're going to find somebody with some. I'm sure there was a few minute, but most of the players were good for him, and his coaches said good for him. So, and he's a good player, so I think that's going to make a difference. The other guy
It's good to see somebody who's not over the top, who has come out. As far as
what do you mean? What,
personality wise?
like a TO or. Are you talking?
No, I mean, like the tamest person that has come out that I can think of is probably Neil Patrick Harris.
Okay.
And I wouldn't. I mean, he's still kind of over the top, but really big personality, and there's a stereotype.
There's
to homosexuality where if you are gay, you are flamboyant and you're way out there.
I mean, some of them are probably like that though. Like Kids in the Hall guy. I mean, that's his personality. Michael Sam is the guy that came out a couple years ago. But anyway, so you're saying it's good that he's
that they don't have to have that caricature.
Yeah, that's true.
That it could be anybody. It could be your brother sitting next to you.
Right. Yeah.
It could be somebody who is, a man's man.
Right.
It doesn't have to be somebody who talks with a lisp or waves their hands around.
The
whatever.
stereotypical Hollywood written gay. Hello, everyone. Yeah. I mean, I get you. Yeah, I mean, hopefully this will do wonders for other players. Like, come on, guys. You're going to sit here and act like there's not other gay NFL players. Give me a break. And hopefully it will allow some of them to be themselves, because living a lie, I can't imagine. I mean, I can't imagine. I as a straight white man, I've never had to hide anything. Like, hey, I'm straight. Hey, I'm white. Hey, I'm, I can't imagine the burden that would place on you every day, having to live a lie to your teammates, never really go out with girls or anything, because maybe some of them do to keep up appearances, but so good for him. I hope other players come forward and step up, and if they're happy and they want to come out and show everybody that they're gay, then they should have the opportunity to do that without any judgment. This is 2021 now. We're past all this other nonsense, even though there's homophobic people still in the world. That's where we're at. So I just wanted to touch on that. All right, so this past weekend was Juneteenth. Juneteenth was declared a national holiday by Biden and members of Congress and all that good stuff. Now, I would say a lot of people don't know what Juneteenth is. I say this because we were allowed to leave work early on Friday. Now, in my opinion, I think next year or the year after, it will be a national holiday.
My wife got the whole day off.
That's good.
And there's a lot of people that got that whole day off, but it was just cleared.
Yeah.
So I mean,
like Wednesday.
Yeah. So I think if when companies can actually plan ahead for it, I think you're gonna have more companies that are if you do have to work that day, you'll get paid time off.
I hope so.
And this country's history, I mean, one can argue that this is more important than Martin Luther King's birthday.
It's more important than many holidays out there. That is 100%.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Labor Day. Okay. Yeah, we can probably. I always say with metro holidays or government holidays, a lot of times you got to lose one to gain one. And so I was like, well, if one's got to go, Labor Day's got to go. You know, I mean, there's some other ones that could probably go. But anyway, so great holiday, great moment in American history, the day slavery ended. But you know, we say that as white people, and then I just think further, well, it's not really the day black people were free, because if you're a slave working somewhere and they're like, you're free, oh, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? I mean, it's not like, hey, I get a job. So a lot of them kept working in the fields. A lot of them, you know, that's a long, if you want to know more about that, watch the 13th Amendment on Netflix, the documentary. It breaks down, you know, imprisonment of black men in America. I want to bring this story up. It says, IKEA menu causes outrage among employees and customers for Juneteenth. Now, you already know where this is going, but we got to get it out here. From Atlanta, a Juneteenth menu is serving up controversy at the Atlanta-based IKEA store. I really don't want to read this, but after employees said, name the two foods, John. Name the two foods that were on the menu.
Chicken and watermelon?
Fried chicken and watermelon were just some items selected to honor Juneteenth. The reporter spoke to some IKEA employees and customers. Employees we spoke to did not want to go on camera over fear of repercussions, but they said that management needs to do more to educate themselves on black culture moving forward. They sent the menu to us in emails. They said the menu was going to be served to customers and employees as a way to, quote unquote, honor and preserve black Americans. You cannot say serving watermelon on Juneteenth is a soul food menu when you don't even know the history. They used to feed slaves watermelon during the slave time, an anonymous employee said. Some other items, which included fried chicken, watermelon, mac and cheese, collard greens, and more, were racially insensitive and ignorant. It caused a lot of people to be upset. Some people actually wanted to quit, and they're not coming back to work. So they sent a store manager, said, I truly apologize. The menu came off subjective. You've got to be kidding me. Like, this is what I'm talking about. When we talk about the culture, you know, because right now the big stories like critical race theory in America, right? They want to, in Williamson County here in Tennessee, in the upper echelon school districts, they want to start teaching critical race theory, and this has caused like a big divide. Like white parents, no, you can't.
Just a word for IKEA. If you wanted to honor the day, for every African American customer, they get 19% off on whatever they buy.
There you go.
That day.
That's better.
There you go.
It still would have probably upset some whiteys, but good.
Well, who cares about
So
them?
critical race theory, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but this is a concept they're going to start introducing in schools to re-examine American history and how we look at it. Most people are not familiar with Juneteenth. Most white people don't know what Juneteenth means. I would go on record saying that. And they probably know more now. They didn't know last year. You know, only by working.
I would almost guarantee that.
With black coworkers was I even introduced to it. I had no idea what it meant. I was like, what is this? And like this, I'm like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, we should be celebrating this. But these are obviously people that have not been around black culture or black people or friends of anyone outside the white race. So anyway, I'm going to go back to the story about the work. So they said we're going to get to go off work 2 hours early, right? And so they sent the email to everyone. I'm like, cool. I mean, that's great, you know. An employee who shall remain nameless because, I mean, nobody would know him anyway. He wrote back, everybody said, what, is there a national holiday on Monday I don't know about? And somebody wrote back and said, no, it's Juneteenth. And he wrote back, seriously? ? And I went, oh my God. Bro, you can't put that in an email. I vaguely know the guy. I don't know if he was saying, I don't know really. You can only assume he meant seriously, like, are we really celebrating this made up holiday? Is the tone I took from it.
I mean, with that word, the way it's used nowadays.
Yes.
Because if it meant like a genuinely like pleasant surprise,
right?
It would have been seriously. Oh, sweet, cool.
Right. No, it was
If it was just the word seriously,
yeah.
that I know it's a negative connotation.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we have a long way to go, but I mean, the day that slavery ended, you know, it's legally and across America and this country should definitely be celebrated. And back to critical race theory. all these white parents are upset that they're going to re-examine history and talk about how racist white people were. Look, guys, at some point, you got to look. They're not saying you, the white man, are racist, but they are saying your ancestors, some of them were very racist. They owned slaves. They supported Jim Crow laws. They supported segregation. They supported, they did not want black and white people to go to school together. These are facts, okay? Yeah. This isn't even like an opinion piece. These are literal facts. And everybody goes, well, you know, it's a different time. Okay, well, we're going to examine that different time. We're going to look at how white people took over this country, decimated the Native American people, enslaved black people, put Japanese people in internment camps. After 9/11, were very racist toward people that were Middle Eastern and Muslim. These are all facts that happened, and we can brush it under the rug and act like it didn't happen.
9/11 was not a long time ago.
No, it wasn't.
We weren't a different people.
No, we were the same people, and we all know people that were like, they're all Muslims. I know some people like that now. They're evil. No, they're not evil. Why don't you go read a book about Islam and come back and we can talk about it? Like, if you're uneducated, read a damn book. Just go get a book and read about it. You know, like this is asinine. And all these parents are like, we're going to take our kids out of school. We're moving. Sayonara. See ya. Bye. I don't want my first grader learning about it. When do you want to teach them about racism? Because obviously it's already existing in your house to some degree, whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
You know, are you going to sit kindergartens down and go, oh, you're racist white people? That is not what it is, but people want to take it and twist it, and it's insane to me.
So often, in order how to teach someone how to be right, you have to teach them how not to be wrong.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
And we have to learn about these things.
That's true. Whether it's painful or not. Can you imagine Germany's just like, yeah, we're just not going to talk about Hitler, and we're going to ignore it. They teach him about Hitler, and they actually say, you're not even putting anything up of Hitler up. That's illegal to do that. No swastikas, no this, because they've recognized their history. And like, you know, there's part of my brain that still, I don't know about Germans. Every German I've met's been kind of strange, and I still, in the back of my mind, still kind of associate them with, and I know that's wrong, but man, the Hitler stigma, as we talked about when you got called Hitler, it's massive.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. It's like worse than Satan.
Yeah.
Like, would you rather be called Satan or Hitler? We should put that up on Twitter and see what the poll. I think more people would say Satan, you know. But anyway.
Well, there's a disconnect when you call somebody Satan.
Yeah.
Hitler was a living, breathing person.
That people alive today were around. You know, there's still soldiers that fought in World War II. Because I looked up there and I was like, how many? There's still quite a bit. They're still alive that fought in the war. I mean, you know, so you knew somebody was going to mess this up. You know, so IKEA, shame on you. That we used to do Idiot of the Week. That would be Idiot of the Week. And Kroger did a thing years ago. Then Corey and me, once again, Corey, take a shot. I mentioned Corey. We had a past podcast where they had Black History Month and they sent out coupons. And I know this happened because I read about it and we talked about it on the show, were black products. And some of those were fried chicken. And I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like, you got to know that's not cool, man. You can't do that. So anyways, I had to get that. Okay, so last story. Let's see. Yeah, let's go here. Oh, Snapchat. All the kids are using it. I don't use it, but, you know, I'm familiar that people use it. That and TikTok. Well, this week, big actual Supreme Court ruling. Supreme Court says a school cannot punish a cheerleader for swearing on Snapchat. This went to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says a Pennsylvania school cannot punish a cheerleader for swearing on Snapchat. 8-1 ruling determined that the student's rights to free expression outweigh the school's interest in preventing potentially disruptive speech. In this case, she said F school, F softball, F cheer, F everything. Full version of the F. Basically, they said, while public schools may have a special interest in regulating some off-campus speech, the special interests offered by the school are not sufficient to overcome the interest in free expression in this case. I think it's like a massive ruling, man. I think there's going to be some, I think this is going to go further down the road because your employer at this point can pretty much pull your social media and go, you're fired. Yeah. This is essentially opening the door going, okay.
Can they do that?
You're in a public school. You can't do it in school. But she tried out for cheer and didn't make the cheer team. And so she did the snap. The school found it and suspended her, you know. And so the court's basically saying, no. I mean, it is associated with school, but it's outside the school. I still believe, I have a hard time when people And even if I don't like what they're saying, man, I like when these racists were coming out going, I hate black people. I think depending on the job, police officers, I believe if you're a public servant, it's a little bit different. You know,
I think when you're dealing with something that is government regulated,
right. It's a little bit different, right?
And I think this is where, like, if it was a teacher to do that same Snapchat,
Yeah.
they're probably getting fired.
Yeah. I probably should, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, and we got Sobros Network in the house. Thanks for stopping by. He said, I would rather be called Satan 100 times versus Hitler. I just think companies have gotten to this point where they have too much power over employees. And so we saw people getting on there going, I hate black people. And I think, hey, man, if the company, it's a mixed bag, really. I mean, because David, the person, wants that person to be fired. But then we got to look at society. You should be allowed to have your own views as an employee, and you're not necessarily a representative of the company. If you're a spokesperson for the company, yes, I understand that. That's why Gina Carano, who we talk about all the time, she is a spokesperson for Disney when she makes press appearances. So her opinions about, you know, non-vaccinated people being like the Jews of the Holocaust, it's absurd, and so there's consequences. A guy working a dock in a factory warehouse, if he doesn't like, you know, if he wants to say Biden's a piece of crap and I don't like him, you gonna let this guy go for that? That's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, there's everything. There's nothing like hardcore definitive. Here's the line, but you know, if you're a habitual line stepper, you're probably gonna get fired anyway. But I just think this is kind of an interesting case, and I'd be curious to see, you know, where it goes from here. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think students should be held liable for things they do outside of school?
I think when you're dealing with kids that are basically minors, they're not doing it on school property. And so now say she was on the team, she was a cheerleader and she was at an away game.
Yeah.
And she did that, that's still wrong because she's still a
Right.
representative of the school.
Yeah.
But if she's doing this off school property, she's not, you know, representing the school,
Yeah.
then it's her opinion.
Right. And she didn't make the team. So, that, yeah, you know. But anyways, just monumental case. Let's read some in chat before we get into our Mount Rushmore. About your 19% IKEA, Robin says that's a great idea. Not being sarcastic either, which must mean you hear sarcastic yays all the time.
She does. She's
That's John's wife, by the way.
Poor Robin. She gets a lot of jokes from me. So, yeah, sometimes she does have to clarify.
All right. So Robin also said our son's school almost put our son on a new bus because he was getting upset when he saw a kid with no legs. I told him to keep him taking the same bus so he can be exposed to different kids. And I've talked about this all the time. Integration, exposure to different cultures, different people is very important to society to keep it going. You know.
Oddly enough, when we talked to the bus driver, they said that that's not happening at all.
Good.
Yeah.
So he's on the bus.
Yeah.
And he'll get
but
over
like she heard it from one of the office workers, which means he could have been upset about anything.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But the fact that he rides a school bus with that same kid every day.
Right.
And the school bus drivers themselves, and they have a school bus driver and a monitor. And when we asked them, they're like, no, in fact, he's the chatterbox.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
so,
good.
yeah.
Well, anything unusual, and I say that's one of the big problems with the transgender community in America is we just don't know enough of them. So it's still weird to people to see that because it's something unusual. It's no different than if, you know, look at the communities of white people. When a black couple moves in or black family moves, it's odd, right? Because some people, and it's odd to think this, but this is true. Some people have never been exposed to black families before, and it's absurd, but only through this repeated thing, like getting introduced to the Muslim community, getting introduced to this community. Like you learn like
there's
they're
a
good people.
fear from these, especially these. I mean, let's face it, backwards rednecks.
Yeah, most.
They
of them.
believe that if they meet a black guy, the black guy's going to grab them and throw them in the back of into a closet and rape them. The thing is, if women don't want to sleep with you, gay dudes probably don't want to sleep with you either.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, yeah.
And so there's this fear that people have with interacting with that community, and I'm like, you have nothing to worry about.
Right.
I mean, if you want to have something to worry about, start brushing your teeth and taking baths and
Right.
wearing clothes that don't have stains on them.
It's pretty generalized. But yes, I understand what you're saying. I think some of them are even, you say rednecks, but it's white people in general that just haven't been exposed to it. I think most people are capable of being good people if they're just exposed to more things. And it's sometimes, like we said earlier, no pain, no gain.
Yeah.
That is an emotional and mental exposure that makes you a better person. So open yourselves up and stop being dope.
And you're missing out because
you are missing out.
a friend of the show, Raquel, what was her?
Raquel Red.
Raquel Red. One of the most engaging people I have met in the last several years.
For sure.
And it's just so much fun talking to her.
Drag queen.
And,
yeah.
I'm not saying my life would be less without her, but I enjoy every moment that I'm around that person.
Yeah,
and I am not any way, shape, or form more gay or less gay than I was before it happened.
You're exactly where you were when it started.
Exactly where I was.
Always a time.
I'm not worried about this person trying to grab me and throw me down and doing stuff to me.
I think it's a lot of it's an inferiority complex as well. A lot of the time, it's but. Well, okay. Well, that was the news. We touched on a lot, man. Woo! That was a lot of news stories. But now it is time to get to the Mount Rushmore of baseball logos. Now, I'm going to a Sounds game tomorrow. Sports are back. Stadiums are filling up. I'm going to be going to a Cubs game in a couple weeks. I thought about this when I said I love baseball since I was a little child. I know John's loved baseball. Don't love it as much these days, but growing up with all these logos, and we were looking at before the show started how much they've changed. But we're looking at right now the current logos. What are our? I'm just saying my favorite. I don't know what yours are, but mine aren't iconic. They're more my favorite of the.
There's some that are iconic that we can't use anymore.
Well, that's true. So,
and if we could use them, they'd probably be on both of our lists. But
we're obviously talking about the big one is the Cleveland Indians logo. Yeah. Now. Did I love that logo growing up? I did because, like I've said before, I was an Indians fan, and I'm just being honest. I wore that shirt many times, all the time, like the logo.
A lot of logos, especially back then in the '80s. Let's face it. When I was 9 years old, I can sit in front of a TV and watch an entire baseball game,
right,
without moving. I can't do that now, but I can watch a entire football game,
right. That's kind of weird.
And
isn't
you think all kids have a shorter, attention span, blah blah whatnot. But then why could I do that? And the thing is I think baseball in itself is almost a sport geared towards kids.
Yeah,
and so
I can see
that Cleveland Indians logo, that icon, was cartoony.
They're very cartoony, and
so a lot of them were, and so. I think that it just embraced what they were trying to do. Now, one would argue that they're trying to introduce, not just in baseball, but all sports, this level of political correctness and things. And, for the most part, there'll be people to disagree with me, but I just say just let it be what it is. And,
What do you mean? Well, what do you mean? Just let it be what it is. Are you saying keep the Indian logo or get rid of it?
I would say keep it.
You got John. You can't. Come on.
I said it.
It's an offensive caricature. It's not what they look like.
It's not. But like I just said, it's a cartoon.
But no, there's no other race depicted like. There's not like an Asian team where it's like typical Asian logo. You can't have that, man. You got to get rid of that. As we are moving forward as people, you can't have like the New York black guys, and it's like, who's the black guy? God bless. What's the caricature of the black guy back in the? Anyways, blackface, big green. You just can't have it. You can't have it. We gotta move past it. Is someone? I was telling someone else about this. Like, did the Indian people get upset? I'm like, yes, they protested it all the time. That's when I say it's got to go. And even if not, it's still got to go. But anyway, we're going to move. Lisa says she agrees with you. So, everyone's on it. I think you just got to find another logo. You can find an Indian logo that's, really even the name's kind of offensive, truthfully. But we're going to move on. These are current logos. So, I don't know what your criteria is. I've just picked the coolest ones for me, the ones I love. And please let us know what you think about these logos moving forward. So I get to go first today, so I'm just going to grab my favorite logo. Man, it's a tough one. It's between two teams. One is an iconic one that I grew up watching. Another one I just think is the coolest, but I'm just going to pick the Chicago Cubs as my number one. I love that logo. It's just it's a simple circle, and you can see it on the screen. It's a circle, blue circle. You got the C for Chicago, but also writes out Cubs. And I just love it. I think it's clean. I think it looks good on a hat. I think you can do different things with it. I've loved the Cubs since, they used to be on the TV all the time. Harry Carey used to watch him all the time. And obviously I'm going to Chicago in a couple of weeks. One of my dreams has always been to go see Chicago Cubs
Wrigley Field
and go see the Boston Red Sox. So it was like, I just want to see those two stadiums, and one's about to get checked off, so I'm very excited. But I love the logo. I love blue and red. Those are like two of my favorite colors. If you've ever seen the artwork, a lot of time blue and red's on a lot of stuff. So that's my number one, Chicago Cubs. All right, John, what you got up for your number one?
I think it's fairly obvious if you're tuned in.
I know it is. Go ahead.
It's the Baltimore Orioles. We're talking about cartoons, and I mean the cartoon Oriole. It just reminds me of childhood, and I think that's a lot of sports. To me, I think that's what it should do. And so,
yeah, it's one that stands out. It's very cartoony. It's very Heckle and Jekyll. It looks kind of like that cartoon, that kind of bird. But it stands out. It's definitely one of the ones that stands out the most. Like when you see that one, some of them, like we say, are just letters, right?
Yeah.
And they're not really that catchy. So to me, the ones that aren't letters, or at least they do something clever with the letters, stands out more. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good one, man. If I knew you were going to pick it. I mean, I could have been a jerk and been like, yeah, my number one's the Orioles. But I that was yours. It wasn't on my list at all. But if I was sitting with other people, it definitely would have been on my list of names. I dig it. It's a good one. I'm not a big fan of orange, but it works for them. So, there we go. All right, so Baltimore Orioles. All right. My number two, I'm going to go with my second favorite logo. I think it's dope. It's got a baseball in it. If it's got a baseball in it, most time it's going to rise to the top of my list. I just think it's cool. But man, the LA Dodgers logo, I just love it. It's kind of like pop art almost. It's got the Dodgers in the baseball cursive font, which I love that.
Yeah.
And it's got the ball sailing through the air as if it's been hit a home run. It's got the lines coming behind it. I love it. Once again, another blue team. I love color blue. But I was a Dodgers fan for many years. I loved Orel Hershiser. I liked him because of him. I just thought I looked at that guy and went, that guy looks kind of like me. And if that guy can be an all-star, I never was an all-star. But still, I still was like, this is cool. I love it. I even love the LA hat. If I was good, based on hats, the LA logo I think is the coolest two letters put together. There's something about it.
But it is cool.
But we're picking the actual thing. So I still love the Dodgers one. Like I said, I think it's just I love to design things in my spare time, and I look at a lot of and sometimes I do go to baseball logos and I'll go, man, I wish I'd have made this one or made that one, but that Dodgers one, I could have never made that in a million years, but I wish I could have, and I love it. So LA Dodgers, my number two. All right, John, who is your number two?
In our house, we are house divided when it comes to baseball, and so obviously everyone knows mine, but I got to represent my wife and go with the Atlanta Braves. Got to dig that. It's the only one with a weapon in it. I mean, the tomahawk. So
unless you count a bat as a weapon.
It wasn't made as a weapon. It was made for sports.
A burglar comes in your house.
I'm just saying.
No.
It was created.
A burglar comes in your house. You have a hatchet by your bed or a baseball bat. Which one are you taking to fight this guy?
I'm taking a baseball bat.
Okay, all right.
You got to have the reach. I mean, I get it.
Okay. Zombie apocalypse. Baseball bat, hatchet.
Can I have nails sticking out?
Sure, yeah, sure you can.
The
Okay.
baseball bat.
All right, anyways, go ahead. I just try. I do want to. I hate the Braves. There's two teams I hate the most. I hate the Braves and I hate the Yankees. I hate them. You want to know why I hate the Braves? It's the same reason I hate the UT Vols. Because when I grew up, every redneck relative I had liked the Vols and the Braves. Now, as my hatred for the Braves and the Vols, honestly, truthfully, has waned over time. But, man, for a long time, I just thought those were the biggest redneck teams in the world, and I could never root for either of them. So, Anyways, go on with you. So
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, when I moved down here, everybody was either a Braves fan or a Cardinals fan. That was it.
100%, yeah.
Nothing else.
Right.
And I was just like, and it just the slightest mention, if someone mentioned the Orioles, it was just like I won the lottery or something. And so just, yeah, I agree. I feel you, but I mean, as far as logos go,
it's not a bad one. Yeah, it's not a bad one. It's pretty dope. So, once again, that cursive font makes all of them better.
Yeah.
And it's on many of them. It's on those two for sure. So, and we'll probably mention more as we go on. Okay, so we got the Cubs, the Dodgers. You got the Orioles, the Braves. All right, I got to go with, man, I love this design so much. I know we were talking about this earlier. I know you hate this team, but this design is, if I was going to, I've thought about this. If I was going to wear a hat, Cubs would probably be number one. Because I would do wear hats all the time. You notice I never wear baseball hats, really. But, man, Toronto Blue Jays. I am in love with that design. I think it is fire, dude. It may be, man, I love the Cubs, but it's up there, man. I love the Dodgers. That's a three-way tie. Like, I cannot tell you which one I love the most. Number one, I love Blue Jays. Like, as a bird, I love Blue Jays. But, man, whoever thought to come up with that Canadian red leaf right beside that bird, man, and that font that's used on that, and I just love the Blue Jays. Once again, I know the blue team. You're starting to see a theme here. I love the color blue and I love the color black, but I think, man, as far as birds go, the Orioles is kind of unfair because it's kind of a cartoon bird. But as far as like real birds in all sports, man, that Blue Jay just looks tight, man. I love that design. That is all me all day. Do I like the Blue Jays? No, not really. I couldn't tell you anything about them. I know they had John Olerud playing for them at one point, and that's about all I could tell you about them. Actually, if you had told me 2 weeks ago that the Blue Jays weren't even in the league anymore, I'd be like, okay, I'll buy it. I mean, because I don't know anything about them. They're never like in the hunt for anything. They're never really good as far as I know, but I love that Blue Jays logo. I love it. I think it's fantastic. So I know you hate the Blue Jays.
Yeah, for a long time, even now today, I mean, they recently beat the Orioles the last time they played them, and they've tended to have their number.
Are they rivals?
I don't. Well,
so John is an Orioles fan. Okay, the difference between me and John is I grew up in Nashville, so I had no baseball team. Like I just liked different teams. You know, I usually tried to pick one that was close or one that was on TV. So I liked the Cubs. I liked who else did I like for a while? I liked the Cardinals, like you said, obviously. But who are the Orioles' biggest rivalry?
Well, the problem with the Orioles is they are one of the poorest teams in baseball.
Yeah.
But every other team in their
division
are quite wealthy.
Oh,
You've got the Red Sox.
Oh, jeez.
The Yankees.
Oh.
The Blue Jays. All very expensive teams.
Man, that's a bummer.
And then the Tampa Bay is not. It's one of the newer teams that were added to the list. They're not balling, but they still have more money than the Orioles. And so
they're underdogs essentially.
Yeah.
Well, everybody loves a good underdog. All right. Well, sorry I had to pick your rival, but I had to, based on logo alone, not on the team. No. All right, you're up to your number 3, John. Who is your third team?
I'm going to go with the Astros.
The Astros?
The Astros.
Okay. I'm trying to see them on the screen. What?
It's the A with the not the Angels. They're often confused with them. I think one of our heads in the way.
Oh, that's well. Let me here. I'm going to hide us real quick. I want to take a look for people listening. Okay. All right. So
It'll probably be a.
No, where is it at? I don't see it on the screen here. The Astros. That one must not be on there. That is very weird. Okay, so the Astros. I'm familiar with it a little bit. All right, so describe what you like about the Astros.
I mean, it's got the A obviously, but it also has the circling around it. You know, the would-be rocket, and it's something else to add to, because I mean we're getting to the point where we're running out of things that aren't just letters.
Is this it?
Well, that's not the one I like.
Oh no, I think that's the official one. Is the H
one with a star? No,
H with a star. I believe that is the Houston Astros official logo.
Circle.
I think that's it. I think you're picking like an old school one, man. I don't know, man. Official logo. Is that it? I'm telling you, that's it,
I
man.
must be picking out an old school one. Then.
Oh.
Then I belay that order then.
Oh, no.
In that case, I'm going with the Mets.
Okay, you want to change? I'll let
Yeah.
you change. Okay, the Mets is a good one.
Yeah.
I want to say this about the Astros. Under Key, cool name, man. Like a cool name.
Yeah.
Houston Astros, dude, that is fantastic. I do know the old school logo you're talking about, and it is awesome, but I think they changed it to the new one to me. So
Why do they change them? Oh, my gosh. Well, we talked about this
Well,
before.
we were looking at the old school logos. Some of the old school
so
ones are
much
the
better.
best, man.
Yeah.
But, we're getting old, John. So, the kids like, okay, the Mets cursive logo behind the city of New York, iconic.
Yeah.
With a baseball on it. It's pretty darn good, man. It's hard to go against that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
For a while, I liked the Mets just because I wanted to like a New York team and they weren't the Yankees. I hate the Yankees. I even kind of dig their logo, but I'm like, I can never pick that, ever. I can never pick the Yankees on any list unless it's most hated teams, ever, which we might have to do one day. But, okay, so the Mets is a good one. All right, I'm going to round up my last one. Thought about this. I've got a lot of teams I could put on there, but at the end of the day, oh, man, this is tough. I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers. I like the Milwaukee Brewers, the ball mitt with the M and the B in it, with the ball in the middle. Like I said, ball gets automatically time there. I dig the colors. I like, once again, big shocker here, blue and yellow, which I love that combination as well. Colors mean a lot to me. So, yeah, I love the Brewers. It's kind of a clever little design. It's got the M and the B disguised as a baseball glove. So whoever come up with that, they've had different iterations of it over the year, and I've liked all of them. And they're also bonus through the Sounds Farm Team League now. So Milwaukee Brewers is going to round it out for me. All right, John, come up to your last one.
Well, I mean, since it got burned by the Astros, I'll go with the other A in the logo, the Angels.
Really?
With the halo on it.
Okay, that's all right. I'm not a fan of the A. I think if the A was a little bit stronger. I like the halo. That is a good touch. That's pretty cool. But
I'd probably throw a couple of wings on the side of
that might not be bad.
That's how I would dress it up a little bit.
It's not a bad one, though. It's the Arizona one's one of the worst ones to me.
There was like we were talking about earlier. There was an old one with a snake's head biting a baseball. I'm like, that's way cooler.
Yeah, you gotta go with that. So,
but I don't get how a lot of these are just so dropping the ball.
Yeah, it's you. As you get older, you find that people doing this, you think they're the best. Some of them are the worst. They just know someone, and that's how they get the job.
I think it's the same kind of people that decided to do that campaign with Groupon.
There you go. Well, yeah. Yes, I remember what you're talking about. Hot take. I think the Titans logo is not good at all. I think it's trash.
With the T?
The T with the freaking 3 stars. Like, is that the best you guys could come up with, man? I'm not a fan.
I agree with you. The T is supposed to look like a sword, but it doesn't.
I just don't like it, man.
If it looked more like a sword, and if you were going to have something in the background, make it more about...
Yeah. I just feel they could have done more with it. All right, so I'll read off our list, and I'll tell you a few more that could have made the list for me. I had the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, the Brewers, and John had the Orioles, the Braves, the Mets, and the Angels. I love the Mets ones for sure. I love the Phillies one. I like the Cardinals one as well, and I like the Kansas City Royals. So those are ones.
You used to wear a Cardinals hat all the time.
Yeah.
With the SL, and we were talking about it earlier. I always used to say, that doesn't sound for St. Louis. That sounds for St. Louis when you're wearing it.
Oh, God. But, yeah, and me and my wife, actually, one of our first trips we went on was to St. Louis, and we caught a baseball game. They were actually playing the Cubs. So I wore a St. Louis hat for a long time because I bought it at the game, and I like the way it fit. And I like the way it looks. I like their blue and red. You're seeing a trend here.
Yeah,
if it's blue, I'm probably you can sign me up for it, I know a few listeners are gonna be upset we didn't list the Detroit Tigers, and I thought about putting it on there, and I do. As far as letters, it is the dopest letter of them all. Okay, I will give them that, but I just
at the end of the day, it's a letter.
Yeah, it's a letter, but I listed a few. It could have made my list. I thought about it. I mean, it is pretty iconic, but I don't know.
I mean, when you can use Microsoft Word to recreate a logo.
That's true. All right, well, that was our Mount Rushmore of baseball logos. Hopefully you guys, I know we got a few sports fans out here, so we're definitely going to hear back on this one. Let us know why we're wrong, why we're idiots. We love hearing all that stuff. And I guess that comes up to the end of the program. Did we miss anything? Before we leave, I want to say, you're watching Loki, right?
I am.
And are you liking it?
I am.
Okay. So you would recommend people, because someone said, what are you guys watching on Netflix? Now, I found there's not a lot of things on Netflix at the moment that I've found. But we highly recommend Loki. It's very good. It's fun so far. A new episode's going to be out, today?
There's different kinds of smarmy out there.
Yeah.
There's good smarmy and there's bad smarmy. Your good smarmies is your Saul Goodmans and your Lokis.
Yeah, that's true.
And those are they're just fun to watch.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And so, and then for the most part, the bad smarkies are the people that you actually know in real life.
Yeah, that's true. They're never as charming as that in person. Like, I hate this guy. But yes, it works. So Loki's good. I do want to highly recommend that people, if you're not, now this is adult content. It's not for people that don't like, crass humor, sexual situations. But the show Dave is back on FX. It is so good. It's a story of Lil Dicky, the rapper. His real name is Dave, and it's basically his journey into the rap game as a white comedian rapper. This show is so good. I could watch it. I mean, I look forward to the episodes. It's so clever. It's so funny. It's also deep. It's emotional. It's all these things. It's like the white Atlanta. Like, I love Atlanta with Donald Glover, but Dave is really good. So if you're looking for something to watch, Dave. New Rick and Morty's out. I love Rick and Morty as well. And if you haven't got caught up on Handmaid's Tale, the last season finale came out, and it was pretty crazy.
For the Rick and Morty fans, the same writer is the person writing for Loki.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that explains why I like it. Okay, so that's on Disney Plus. And if you need a movie to watch, Luca came out on Disney Plus, the new Pixar movie. Watched it, loved it a lot. So if you're looking for something to watch with the kids, you can't go wrong with that. Pixar is always good, even when they're bad, except for Cars 3. But even when they're average, they're really good. So that's some things we're watching if you guys were interested in that. And also, Adam and JP may be coming back. Their podcast may be coming back. They dropped a new episode, and it was just JP on it, but he said they're coming forward with some new episodes. So.
We miss those guys. So yeah,
I miss listening to it. It was a genuinely podcast I loved listening to. So I would love to hear it come back. So, all right. Well, that's the end of the episode. And what you need to do, if you loved hearing us talk, is go check us out on the web at bybpod.com, bybpod.com. That is our website. And if you go there, you're going to be able to check out all the past episodes, all the show art's up there, all the social media icons are up there. So if you want to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all up there. If you want to send us an email, ask us some questions, you want to be a guest on the show, we've got a great guest coming up in the next couple of weeks, an artist by the name of Georgia English. She's going to be coming at the beginning of August, and we cannot wait to have her on. So if you want to be a guest, you want to be part of the show, email us. There's ways to do that. There's an email icon, or you can scroll down to the bottom where it says contact the page. Do that. Buy stuff on Amazon. We love that. Use our link when you do it. And there's shirts for sale. So, get out there and show everyone you love the podcast by buying merchandise.
And if you want a list done, tell us about it.
We do have one. Adam, speaking of Adam and JP, he texted me and said he was listening to some rock and roll music. And he said here, I'm sitting here listening to the greatest guitarist of all time, Buckethead. No. And it makes me think you guys should do the Mount Rushmore of greatest guitarist. So you just said if anyone wants the list to be done. So when is that happening? Is that next week, or is it what? I mean, you tell me. We could do it. We could do it next week. Yeah.
Next
week, Mount Rushmore of greatest guitarist. That's going to be crazy.
I just wanted to make sure that I'm going first.
You are. Yeah. Okay. So you get Jimi Hendrix. All right. Well, that's fine. You can have him. All right. So next week, Mount Rushmore of greatest. Thank you, Adam, for that one. Yes, but John's right. If you want to have a list, please email us and let us know. Go subscribe, tell your friends about the show, rate us, review us, share us, do all that fun stuff. And with all that being said, John, is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.